Miami shooting. This is what the Mizrahi perspective is going to talk about today. This crazy incident from a couple of days ago, where a guy in Miami saw two people who looked Palestinian to him, and he shot at them 17 rounds. And this is a very interesting, fascinating incident, which folds and holds so much in it that I had to talk about and say something about it. So this is the subject of today's video. But before I talk about the Miami incident, I want to tell you about my Substack. Um, I've created a post on my Substack, which is like a best of list of my best articles. And if you want to understand Israeli and Zionist mentality and colonial mentality on where this country and this culture come from and how they think, I really recommend you check out my Substack. And for the next 3 days, the yearly subscription is just $50, 50 US dollars. So check it out. The link is in the description of this video. So the Miami shooting. This guy, this Jewish, Israeli, American, I mean, everything is mixed, right? The Jews are Israeli and American and Jews, and you don't know where they belong, and they feel they belong everywhere and they are native everywhere. This is fascinating in itself. He walks in Miami, close to the beach, and he sees a car with two people who look Palestinian to him, and he shoots 17 rounds at them. And when the police arrive on the scene, he tells them, I killed two Palestinians, and he's proud of himself. Like a kid presenting his work to his teacher or his parent, he expects police to tell him, well done, great job. Um, so this story has so many layers to it. I mean, the first thing that jumps immediately is how insane is that is in this country. It is normal to just walk around with a gun, which I don't think exists anywhere else on this planet. I mean, for people to just walk around in their daily lives with a gun. I mean, to go shopping for groceries or meet friends or go to the movies or go pick up your kids from school with a gun, and it is normal. It's acceptable. The law protects this. How is this normal? How is this normal? I mean, when I hear something like this, my reaction is, why are they like this? What's wrong with these people? How is this normal to them? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I would never want to carry a gun with me places. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want the possibility to shoot someone? This is so insane. So on this level, we accept this as normal, but this is not normal. The fact that just civilians walk around with guns, and some of them are patriotic and machos, and they're eager for a moment where they will meet a terrorist or a mass murderer or a sniper, and they will shoot him and kill him and become national heroes. I mean, the gun culture in this country is really something that I don't know, needs to be talked about and explained. And this is really strange and peculiar about America. But beyond that, there are many aspects to it. And on my social media, I wrote about the inter-Jewish racism aspect, because to this white Jew, to this Ashkenazi Jew, brown Middle Eastern people look like Arabs. And Jewish Arabs look like Arabs. I mean, you've seen the images from Israel, from Gaza, from soldiers, they look Arab. This is because they are Arab. Of course, they deny their Arabness. They hate it more than anything in this world, more or less. Nevertheless, they are Arab and they look Arab. And so this incident really sheds a light on this great lie that is a Jewish, the existence of a Jewish nation or a Jewish ethnicity. Um, Jews who came from Ukraine or Russia or Germany, and Jews who came from Morocco, or Iraq, or Iran, or other places in the Middle East had very little in common. They didn't look the same. They didn't speak the same language. They were part of vastly different cultures. And Zionism fabricated this story and it's made up a nation of Jews, supposedly one ethnic group united but by whatever. I mean, atheist Jews and extremely religious Jews from all kinds of places have become one ethnic group, which is nonsense. And after 100, almost 50 years of Zionism, after almost 80 years of a Jewish state, when a white Ashkenazi Jew walks the streets of Miami and sees two brown-looking Jews, he thinks they are Arabs, and he shoots at them with the intention of killing them. So this is something to look at, something to notice. The subject of inter-Jewish racism, the way Arab Jews have been treated in Zionism by Ashkenazi Jews, this is such a huge subject. I mean, I know that many people who are from all kinds of places have been interested in this and read about it, but this is a huge subject. It's a very big part of Israeli psychology and mentality and memory. I mean, Arab Jews, Mizrahi Jews in Israel carry the memory of the humiliation of their parents and grandparents by the Ashkenazi establishment in Zionism in Israel. This is a big part of who they are, of who they see themselves. So, and this incident exposes this truth about Zionism and about its lies, about its fabrications. So this is another aspect of this incident. We have the guns, the American gun issue, culture, and we have the Mizrahi Ashkenazi perspective, which is fascinating. The fact that after more than 100 years of Zionism, brown Jews look like Arabs to Ashkenazi Jews, and this happened to me here in California. I was walking a street in Berkeley, and I reached like a light, like for pedestrians, and so I waited on the edge of the sidewalk, and there were two guys having a conversation between them. And I could hear from like a word here and there that they were talking about Israel. And I understood they were Jews, and they were white, they were Ashkenazi Jews. But I could also feel how tense they became when I entered the scene, because they perceived me to be Arab. And I didn't say a word. I didn't tell them that I understood the words in Hebrew they used here and there. But they became visibly tense, and anxious because they thought I was Arab. And I am Arab, but I am a Jewish Arab and I speak Hebrew I'm an Israeli. Okay, I grew up in Israel. So this duality of the Mizrahi identity, this conflict, it is such a powerful, such a poignant part of Israeli identity. And it's so denied by Zionists who pretend this went somewhere, but this is a big major part of Israeli psychology. So there's this. But the other part of it, which is what I really want to talk about, is the amounts of uncontrollable, crazy hatred, crazy hatred, crazy hatred that Zionism taught Jews to feel towards Arabs and Palestinians. This is something we don't talk about enough. We don't talk about this enough. And if you grew up in a normal society or even a semi-normal society, you can't even imagine this kind of hatred. You can't imagine this kind of hatred. I mean, when I was 4 or 5 years old, I was already trained. I already internalized the gaze that sees Arabs and Palestinians as foreigners, as invaders, as alien. And wherever we would go, with our family or wherever, when I would see Arabs, and this is Israeli, this is not about me. We were taught to see Arabs as people who don't belong and shouldn't be here. People who are only here to harass us, to harm us, to intimidate us, to take things from us. All the things Jews did to Palestinians in Zionism. But we were taught to see Palestinians this way. And the sheer amounts of hatred, fiery hatred, fire full of energy and fire, visceral hatred, Jews learned to feel towards Palestinians and Arab. This is something, I mean, this guy shoots 17 rounds at two people who think are Palestinians. And what if they are Palestinians? He wants to annihilate them. He doesn't feel threatened. They never said they did something to him. I mean, they didn't do anything to him. He wanted to wipe them out. He wanted to wipe these people out. I mean, do you understand how much hate you need to feel? You need to be full of to act and think this way, to want to kill people who belong to another group just because they belong to another group. And if you try to understand why, I mean, we have seen the videos, we see what Israel is doing, we see how Israeli leaders speak about Palestinians, speak about this situation. You haven't heard once in your life an Israeli leader speak about Palestinians as humans. You never heard it. This is unheard of. I'm sure that if you looked for it, you would find an American general talking about Vietnamese people as humans. If you look for it, you'll find it. But you won't find an Israeli leader, especially from this last generation, the Netanyahu generation. It doesn't exist. Palestinians are not human, not even close to it. They need to be destroyed. They don't deserve to live. They don't belong. And Israeli society does this to you and teaches us this in a million ways, in a million different ways. I mean, life in Israel is totally segregated. Arabs and Jews almost never meet. They live in different towns, in different streets, in different villages. Arab Jews and Jewish children in Israel go to different schools. Jewish children never see an Arab child in their life. They never meet an Arab child, not in school, not in a playground, not in a shopping mall, ever. Arabs don't exist. They only exist as a threat. And they don't belong. They have to be removed. They have to be removed. And this was true before the genocide. This was true 60 years ago, 80 years ago. This was always true in Zionism. From the minute Zionists set foot in Palestine, this was their mindset. Palestinians need to be cleansed and moved and pushed out and humiliated and murdered and have all their property stolen and have all their villages wiped off the map, and we will build parks over their villages and plant trees to hide and cover them. Do you understand how much hatred, how much racist hatred, burning, bubbling racist hatred you need to feel to be like this, to behave like this, to build a country and a culture around this value, these ideas, this mentality? What the genocide did nothing new in terms of Israeli psychology. What it did was legitimize things. All the things that were felt and kind of half said by some people who are considered extreme have become perfectly legitimate. And now in Israel, the most patriotic thing you can say, and this is so shocking, the most patriotic thing you can say is, and the children too. And the children too. Yes, and the children. We need to destroy everyone in Gaza, and the children too. This is the Israeli consensus now. And people say it, as an expression of courage, as an expression of character and loyalty to Israel and to what it represents, and the children too. And the children too. They actually say it. They actually say it. And the children too. So when this Israeli guy, this Jewish guy, sees two people who look Palestinian to him, what he feels is the urge to annihilate them, to do to them what Israel does to Gaza. Because the whole world, the whole culture, the whole Western civilization tells him, this is what you do to Palestinians. This is okay. This is what you do to Palestinians. And you can't tell people it is okay to mass murder people from this group in this geography, but outside of this geography, it's frowned upon. This is nonsense. This is not how the way our psychology works. If murder is permitted, it is permitted, period. And now it is not only Israel that tells Jews they need to hate Palestinians so much, they need to say, and the children too, they need to act on it. They need to act on it when they are in uniform and when they are abroad. This is what's expected of them. And they don't see Arabs as human. They don't see Arabs as people. They don't see them as people. They see them as dirt. This is what we were told, to see Arab as dirt. This is the kind of hatred. This is the gaze you have to do what this guy did. I mean, do we understand how insane this is? Do we understand how utterly insane this is? To build a society around this? To tell a society you need to want to destroy, execute, finish a whole group of other people. And this is good. This is okay. This is the right thing to do. This is being patriotic. This is being a good Israeli. And it is not only Israel. Now, the entire West sees Israel behaving this way and tells Israel, go on, do more of this. Do more of this. Do more of this. Kill more people, kill more babies, kill more children. We support you. We will keep sending you weapons. Keep on doing that. Keep on doing that. Teach your children to hate to this degree. We are going to help you and back you. The amount of hatred is just unbelievable. It is just unbelievable. It is toxic. And this is not the last incident we see of this nature. This is not the end of it. We're going to see more of this. Because culture encourages this behavior and rewards this behavior. And this is so nuts. And I refuse to accept it. No matter how many years I spent in it. No matter how many years I spent in it. I will never accept it. I will never accept it. No one must ever accept it. No one must ever accept it. And this Zionist hate, this intense and insane Zionist hate, is now allowed and encouraged to proliferate. And now Israel is trying to teach the whole world that Palestinians deserve to be exterminated and ethnically cleansed. This is where we are. This is how insane things are. Without any pushback.